Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. And somebody sent me this letter number, and they also sent me a letter. I think the 4 is going to be a little bit harder, so I'm going to make the 4. I'm going to do the 4. It's in millimeters. First of all, I would set your nudge distance on 0, 0, or your duplicate distance, and there's going to be a reason for in this video. But we're going to go up to Effects and Contour, and I don't even know what his contour is, but it's already set up, so I'm going to use it. I contour to the outside with straight corners, which is pretty important on this round item. If you don't do that, you're going to get this. And in a stitch effect, that might even work. We might have to try that also, but I'm going to do square corners. I'm going to go up to Object and break contour apart, and I'm going to nudge this contour over. Then I'm going to go up to Windows, Dockers, and Properties, and click on this right here, and it's going to measure my curve. Actually, the inside and the outside is 764. I've got that written down. So 764 millimeters. So we're going to draw our stitch, and there's several ways you can do it. I'm just going to take the 3-sided polygon tool, drawing a 3-sided polygon, not holding down the control button. I'm going to go ahead and make it with the ratio locked. I want to make it 2 millimeters. Make it really little. Now, he evidently doesn't draw in hairline like I do, so I'm going to change this to hairline. And also, I've never really figured out if it's my transversion or yours that is turned into CMYK. And if you're an engraver, yeah, he's using CMYK. So you need to make this RGB if you're going to engrave this. Maybe not. I shouldn't say that for everybody. I mean, laser engravers on wood and stuff, you want RGBs are actually a good black, and white's not a true white, or whites will engrave if it's a CMYK gray. But that's beside the point. Take your shape tool. I'm going to get rid of these extra nodes that we do not need. Then I'm going to grab those two. I need to convert it to a curve. Then I'm going to grab these 2 nodes and right click and break it apart, and then take my virtual segment delete key and delete. There's my stitch. And it's 2 inches, and later on we're going to need to change it to something other than a hairline to make it engrave on this material in a 1/2 point scale with object if you want to. It's still 2 millimeters wide, so it doesn't change the effect. Matter of fact, we can leave it that way now. And I'm going to show you 2 different ways you could do this. If you have, I think it started in 2018 in Corel. Let me shut down the contour and go to Object, Fit Objects to Path. This is 2 millimeters. We had 764 millimeters. So we need half of that, which is 382, and just hit. So grab your item, then hold down the shift key, grab your path in that order, and then hit apply. Now, I don't know as far as what the corners are going to look like, but if you imagine it without the line, it does look like a stitch effect. And then you can always nudge this whole thing back. One thing about the object to path, they're still all objects, and they're not together. So there's one way you can do it. You could set it, make it be on top of the line or bottom of the line, and just by your object origin. We just talked about that the other day. If you go here and put it down here and then shift select your object, so select your item, shift select your path, and hit apply. Now it's put it inside that line. And if you want it on the outside of that line, just click down here and hit apply, and it put it on the outside of the line, which might be beneficial, but it's going to mess up this inside one. Now you could do these separately, but I'm not going to take your time to do that. So let's do this with a blend tool in case you don't have objects of path and you have like Corel 15 or something. So we need 2 of these, and this is where your moving your nudge distance comes into play. Control D and make a duplicate. I want it right on top of each other. I mean, the way you had it set, it doesn't matter. You could always put it over here and hit T, and I don't even know that that matters on the blend. But then we're going to go to effects and blend, and we're going to blend 380 because on the blend tool, it's already taken into fact these two. And hit apply, go down here to blend along new path and set it on our path, blend along full path and rotate all objects. I'm getting the exact same design, the exact same stitch pattern. Anyway, I'm really curious if this is sufficient, because when you take away this line, well, that's one thing. See, that's a difference in the blend. It's all blended together. You've got to go to object break, blend apart, grab it again, and go to object and ungroup to get that line where object to path is every individual blend is another item, and then hit delete, and then make sure you select all these and nudge it back to your, see, I didn't select them all, nudge them back to your letter there. I truly hope this helps. And he probably wants it on the inside because this other line is going to be a cut line, and I would always turn that red. So you don't want to cut that out. You want to cut this out. So you would do an inside contour instead of an outside contour like we picked earlier. And you could separate these two contours. You know, this could be a separate part of itself just by going to object and, well, let me nudge these things out of the way. Let me take our 4 and let me select it all and go to object and convert it to curves, and then go to object and break curve apart. Then you could actually do these separate. You know, you could take that, and that is a curve, so you could measure it with windows, Dockers, properties, and measure just that line, and you only have 179. That's a lot more than I would have thought. And then you could blend or object to path that one and have it totally different than the other one. Anyway, I hope that helped him a little bit, and thank you for watching.